From KUNC and the NPR network, this is In The NoCo. I'm Erin O'Toole. Young women are more active in sports than ever and more visible. Think Naomi Osaka on the tennis court, Caitlin Clark playing hoops, or Mikaela Schifrin on the slopes. And overall, young women's participation in sports continues to increase. But female athletes face different health challenges than their male counterparts. They may grapple with painful periods, body image issues, or eating disorders at a higher rate than male athletes. Now, a newly formed team of doctors at Children's Hospital Colorado hopes to change that. The hospital's female athlete program transforms the way middle and high school girls train, compete, and manage their physical and mental health. And that often means talking honestly about hormones. Today, we're speaking with two of the new program's physicians. Dr. Lauryn Roth specializes in pediatric and adolescent gynecology, and Dr. Aubrey Armento is a sports medicine physician. Dr. Roth pointed out that both she and Dr. Armento were serious athletes when they were growing up.
I'll just say, I grew up as a figure skater for a number of years, and then I kind of transitioned more to swimming and water polo full time. And I currently call myself a swammer, but I do still swim and bike and, participate in all the outdoorsing activities that exist.
A swammer making you past tense? Is like okay.
Yeah, I'm a swammer.
Okay.
Or I'm a master swimmer. You pick.
She's still a swimmer.
I believe that. And Dr. Armento?
I was mostly a runner. Yeah, I started running track and cross country in high school, and then I've been running marathons and ultra trail races since then, and still trying to run fast and run far. So I also consider myself an aging athlete, but an athlete still.
Yay, kudos for that.
Yes.
And Dr. Armento, was there something you experienced as a young woman in sports that led you to want to focus on the unique needs and the unique challenges for female athletes?
Yes, definitely. So I struggled when I was younger with not having a regular period, disordered eating, bone stress injuries. And so I wish I had more support for that when I was younger. And a lot of those experiences have definitely shaped how I want to treat patients who may be struggling with some of the same things.
I want to ask about the harmful, although maybe well-intentioned advice that coaches sometimes deliver. Things like casually noticing an athlete has put on extra weight, for example. Dr. Roth, could you speak to, how harmful are these messages coming from people like coaches in positions of authority?
I think the reality is all adults are in a position of power over teenagers, and that's really challenging because what a well-intentioned adult, be that a coach, a parent, a teacher, a friend, it carries a lot of impact. And I think it just is a recommendation or an ask that we just be really mindful and thoughtful about what we're saying, because it can be taken really literally. It can be taken beyond what we meant for it to be taken as. And it can be really detrimental to these girls' health. It can drive disordered eating. It can drive a desire to lose weight that's totally inappropriate, and it can lead to real health implications and problems in the future if it's not checked or managed.
In the program, you focus your approach around something called the female athlete triad, which I would like to dig into. Again, this includes missed or irregular periods, disordered eating, low bone mineral density. Dr. Roth, could you just talk about why it's important to discuss these issues with female athletes?
Yeah. I think historically this has been a really taboo topic. Mm-hmm. People just kind of put their head in the sand and pretended like it didn't exist. But as we learn more about these things, it really brings to light, like, whoa, things are out of balance. We are, not having regular periods. Therefore, we're at increased risk of having complications related to this no period and low estrogen, low hormonal state, like decreased bone mineral density or like impaired cognition, et cetera, et cetera. And this is an opportunity to have these conversations and bring it to the forefront so that our athletes can be the best, most powerful, most high-achieving athletes that they can.
Mm. Well, let's zoom in on another issue, Dr. Armento. What about eating disorders? How do eating disorders tend to affect female athletes differently than their non-athletic peers?
So I think low energy availability sometimes can occur unintentionally, meaning athletes don't really know what their nutrition needs are, or they don't know how to adequately fuel their bodies. And so they're not purposely restricting their food intake. Then there are those that are experiencing disordered eating or may have an eating disorder. And I think in female athletes, there are unique stressors that I think put them at risk for developing an eating disorder, particularly around sport culture and societal pressures to fit a certain body type or to look a certain way. And so I think those sport pressures, certainly in sports like endurance sports or more aesthetic sports like figure skating or gymnastics or dance, we can see increased risk of the development of disordered eating and eating disorders in those young athletes.
This program really shines a light on the unique needs of female athletes at a time when there is more interest in women's, college and professional sports. Dr. Armento, how hopeful are you that more medical programs around the country might adopt a concept like the female athlete program?
I am very hopeful. I think there's a lot more emphasis in sports medicine, both clinically and with research, on really ensuring that we are doing the best for our female athletes and not just treating them like male athletes. So I am hopeful for the future. I mean, I think there's still a lot of work to be done, but I've definitely seen this really positive momentum in the last 5 to 10 years in really emphasizing the importance of this kind of care.
So as you start to help more young women athletes, what does success look like to you a year or two from now? Dr. Roth?
Yeah. I think for me, success in this clinic and in the care we're providing, I want our patients, coming in feeling seen, feeling heard, and feeling hopeful about the future. And gosh, there's nothing I love more than seeing these patients over the months and years and watching them kind of like heal, grow, improve, get stronger, get faster, go compete in college at the D1 level. Like, that's the success for me with these patients and ideally what I hope to accomplish through this clinic.
Dr. Lauryn Roth and Dr. Aubrey Armento are specialists with the new Female Athlete Program at Children's Hospital, Colorado. The program focuses on the unique needs of adolescent and young adult women in sports. We'll have links in the show notes and at kunc.org where you can learn more about the program. By the way, if you're not already signed up for the In The NoCo email newsletter, make sure you get yourself on the list. It's a great way to stay informed and up to date on what's happening around Northern Colorado. You can sign up at our website. Again, that's kunc.org. That's it today for In The NoCo. I'm Erin O'Toole. Thanks so much for listening.